Hello Nintendo peeps, this is Tim with the Nintendo Dads here to give you the Nintendo Dads top 3 games that they have on their contenders for Game of the Year for 2024. I will give mine last, but let's start with Jesse first. So Jesse, take it away.
Greetings, this is Jesse from Nintendo Dads, and this is my top 3 games of 2024 so far. I was told that they did not have to be Nintendo games, so they are not all Nintendo games. My number 3 game is Picross S Plus. As of the time of this recording, I'm in the middle of E8, so like almost done with the whole thing. I've done 1 through 7 and the bonus stages, so I probably have maybe 30 to 35 hours left to finish it. My number 2 game is the non-Nintendo game. It's Persona 3 Reload. I played that on the Xbox. It's also available on PlayStation and PC. Just not on the Switch. Otherwise, I probably would have played it there. And my number 1 game is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. That has been my favorite Paper Mario game from the start. I've said that throughout the years of Sticker Star and the Color Splash and Paper Jam, and I was finally happy to see this re-released for a modern audience, so people who haven't played it from 20 years ago can finally play it today. So those were my top 3 so far of 2024.
Hey folks, what's going on? Justin Masson here with Nintendo Dads, and as was promised on a recent episode of Nintendo Dads, we said let's talk about what our Game of the Year so far is for 2024. So I'm going to give you my Game of the Year so far, my 1 through 3, and I'll give you an honorable mention. So my honorable mention honorable mention is actually going to be Splatoon 3 DLC, the side order. This made me come back to Splatoon 3, and when I think about games that I consider for Game of the Year, I consider something that, like, I just keep thinking about it. The experience I have is fun and unique. Do I just want to keep playing it and keep coming back to it? How quickly am I sinking hours into it? Has it got its hooks into me? And so Splatoon 3, the side order DLC, absolutely did that for me. And so that's kind of my honorable mention. My number 3 game for Game of the Year so far is another Crab's Treasure. I ended up playing this again at PAX West back in September of 2023. I knew very quickly I really enjoyed this. I'm not a Souls-like fan. This game, with the voiceover, the kind of humorous, putting on different shells, the kind of one more run, I'm going to try it again, going to try variation. You learn every time. And then even stuff like Krill with a gun where it's a one-shot and you can kill the boss. I love it. It's fun. It makes me keep going back to it. Every time I see that place where I can kind of, like, it's autosave or the shell, I can't remember what it's called. Like, I'm like, my palms are sweaty. I'm like, where is it? I got to make sure I make this progress. So definitely my number 3 is another Crab's Treasure. My number 2, crazily enough, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. I had not played it previously because I didn't have a GameCube. I had heard about it kind of in the Nintendo ethos of games that Nintendo pundits and fans should be playing, but never had a chance to. And I have really, really enjoyed my time with Paper Mario. Very often I find with Paper Mario games, I get a couple hours into it and I fall off. I just don't care. The mechanic isn't fun. I don't enjoy it. Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door has me hooked, and I'm really enjoying the experience. I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the paper cutouts, the theater displays. There's just so many layers to it that definitely has my attention. So number 2 is Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. And my number 1 Game of the Year so far, which I did not expect it to be my Game of the Year thus far. I did not expect it to be coming in at number 1. And I'll tell you, for what it's looking like for the rest of 2024, this game may still be my number 1 by the end of it. And that has to be Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This game came out in January. And sometimes Ubisoft games, you don't really know what you're going to get. And this game grabbed me. We got this code about a week before launch, and I finished the game the day the game launched, actually, and enjoyed my time the entire time. It is such a fantastic Metroidvania game. I'm excited about all the additional content and the free DLC they're putting back in the game. Plus, they've got another quest mode that's coming at the end of the year. This game had me hooked right away. And I know for some people they didn't necessarily, and you're like, oh, it's an Ubisoft game. If you haven't played Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, you need to play it, because this is going to be one of the top games that people are going to talk about for 2024. It's early January, and I think a lot of people missed it. Check it out. So, folks, those are my Game of the Year games so far in 2024.
What is up, guys? It's Marty here, and wanted to come through with my top 3 so far of 2024 that we talked about on last week's podcast. And I hope you've got your list of your top 3. We would love to know your list, but I'm going to throw mine out there, and it may not be what you expect. But number 1, and these are not in any order other than release date order. The first game that came to mind when I thought about this was Another Code Recollection, or Recollection. I don't exactly know how you say it. I think Recollection because it's like memories, because the game is all about memories. But it could be Recollection as well. But Another Code, whatever you want to call it, 2 games in one, now on the Nintendo Switch. If you're a fan of mysteries, if you're a fan of puzzle solving, this game has been really fun, and I really love the voice acting and the art style. It's just, and it's not super taxing, like it's not, it's relaxing. And so some of the puzzles do take a little bit of brain power to figure out. Some of them are manipulating things on the screen. Some of them are actually, going to a place, using an item, finding this, doing that. And so it can be a little fetch questy at times, but Another Code, if you are a fan, I would say of like Phoenix Wright games or deduction type games, there's a little bit of that in there as well. So you can check that out. It's out right now on Nintendo Switch. All of these games out on Nintendo Switch. The other game, or the second game that I would mention, is Balatro, which everybody seemed to have like a month-long obsession with, and then I don't hear about it much anymore, but I'm still playing Balatro, and it was a game that I thought that I would not like at all, but then I played it on a PlayStation trial for an hour. That's what they give you, and I was immediately hooked, and I was like, I've got to download this on Switch because I want it on the go, and I have been having a ton of fun with Balatro. I've only won once. I won with the yellow deck. I have not been able to win with any of the others, but I'm getting close, so I'm hoping that is coming. I'm really enjoying Balatro, especially when I've only got a limited time to play a game and just can jump into a card game. There's no story to advance. There's nothing that I have to remember other than how to play the game. And so that is my second of my top 3 of 2024 so far. And the last one is Pepper Grinder from Devolver Digital. No surprises here. You guys know I love most Devolver releases. And so Pepper Grinder, fantastic short little game. It's about 5 to 7 hours tops. And that's including finding everything. I didn't do 100%, but I was very close. But it's just a lot of fun. If you are a fan of like the Mr. Driller games, or it's got a little Dig Dug influence. It's got a little Sonic influence. It's got a little bit of everything. A little collectathon-ish type thing. And so it's in fun humor. I really enjoyed the graphics. The soundtrack is pretty amazing too. I think they knocked it out of the park with Pepper Grinder. And so those are my top 3 of 2024.
Hey everybody, it's Tim here with my 3 now that these gentlemen gave their 3 games that they're considering for Game of the Year. Here are my 3 games that I'm also considering. Not in any particular order, but just things that are top of mind, top of my list. First one I want to mention is Endless Ocean Luminous, that came out this year by Nintendo. This is my Animal Crossing for 2024 because it's chill. I can just go in and explore, and I even want to say it's like the part of Animal Crossing where you got to dive in and find those sea creatures and all that kind of stuff and bring them to the museum for the aquarium and all that kind of stuff, where I can dive in, explore the creatures, explore artifacts, find out the lore and the story of what's going on, what am I exploring, and why this particular part of the water doesn't have anything dangerous, or it has a mix of things that you wouldn't find all in one place usually. But there's a story there, and I've been enjoying it. And also I enjoy the multiplayer aspect of it too, where you can get together with other divers from around the world in the game. They do events, or you can do your own dive, or or have other divers join in with you too, if you give them a code. So Endless Ocean Luminous. Number 2 is Haunty. This is an indie. This was showcased in the indie showcase this year, or it might have been last year. It was at some point. I can't remember when it was, but Haunty, I'm playing that on my Switch as well, and it is about a story about a ghost who is basically trying to figure out why they're here in this realm that they're at. They got scared, and an angel, from what I understand, or what you're led to believe, an angel came to try to help the ghost ascend and to somewhere, and but then some chains came and grabbed it back down and brought it back down into this really crazy world of other ghosts who don't believe that these angels are trying to bring them to a better place, so they don't ascend. They're fine where they are, and they go about trying to convince my character to try to stay behind and not try to ascend with this angel I found. I love the art, the graphics in this, the music. It is a puzzle game where you have to figure out and collect all of these stars to finish a constellation, and then be able to unlock the next area. And the more you do, the more you should be able to ascend. And that's where I'm at in the game, is trying to figure out how far I can get to so I can ascend. So again, Haunty, number 2 on my list. And number 1 on my list right now is Little Kitty Big City. Also an indie game that came out this year. You're basically a little kitty in a big city because you were once in an apartment, and somehow you ended up outside of your apartment, your owner's apartment. So I'll let you guys discover how that happens. It's because it's quite cute. But basically, you're trying to figure out how you can get back to your location, and there's a lot of surprising aspects to this game that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting as deep of a game, and I don't know why. It looked cute and adorable, and I thought it was just going to be a cat trying to, just explore a city. But you're basically trying to upgrade your abilities so that you can get back to your apartment, which is basically going up and scaling this apartment building. And so you meet a lot of creatures, you collect hats. There's even portals you can unlock so that you can fast travel throughout the city, which is cute how it does that too. Other characters you meet, other side little quests you can do. But I think I finished it in a good 15 hours, I think, maybe even less. And because I'm always exploring everywhere, every nook and cranny, it probably took me longer than most people would do. So it's probably even shorter of a game for most people. But it is definitely a great game to play on the Nintendo Switch on the go and handheld, but also great looking on a screen, because I did that too when I was playing in front of my family. So that's Little Kitty Big City for the Nintendo Switch, and those are my 3. And you heard from all the other gentlemen who gave their 3, so we would love to hear about your 3. If you haven't already given it to us, we would love to see it in the comments. If you're in our Discord, we'd love to see you share it in our Discord, so that we get an idea of what everybody's got on their list for the game of the year, because we're halfway done. All right, so stay tuned with the Nintendo Dads. We're live every Thursday night, and our show gets posted every Friday morning. So listen to us, hang out with us, and keep an eye on our YouTube channels for any latest YouTube videos. So for me, for Jesse, for Justin, for Marty, this is Tim from the Nintendo Dads, and we'll all check you later. Bye-bye. Now, where's that button?